Hi Liv, how you doing? I appreciate the compliment. I will be a teacher. Soon. One day. Yeah, Julian, it does look good so far. I wanna experience it fresh, so I'm not watching too much of the pre-release footage, but yeah, very excited.
Morning.
So the other question a lot of people have is about the blindfold, because it seems like such an arbitrary... Oh,
that means I'll be performing regular checks on you from now on.
So it seems like such a weird design choice, right?
We 9S models are the best around, you know. Though I suppose we're not exactly known for our modesty.
Very funny. 9S is funny.
9S.
What is it, ma'am?
Stop calling me ma'am.
Huh?
There's no need to be so formal.
Alright. If you say so.
So I love their dynamic right off the bat.
The commander was calling for you. We better go see what's up, man. 2B.
So yeah, the blindfolds are actually visors. The blindfolds are what contain all of the digital information that is displayed on the screen. Can we get anything we need yet? Oh, the other thing we can do straight away is we can adjust our plug-in chips. So we can start messing around with what elements of the heads-up display are even used. So if we take that out, we die. I think we can take off a couple of these straight off the bat. Julian, yeah, the blindfold is a piece of tech. I think it is explained at some point, but I think it's sort of an optional explanation. I don't think it's... it might not ever be explicitly said. It's definitely in some of the, like, extraneous material. So if that's okay, thanks for hopping in, I appreciate it. Bye Surf, bye Liv. Hey Dwonk, how you doing? So let's take out some of... We don't really need to see the damage values, because we get that displayed in our health bar. I think the rest is fairly crucial. Maybe the skill gauge. I'll leave that for now, and then we'll just optimize that. Well, I appreciate your presence here, Davey. We're still in the opening. I just finished the introduction, so we've just gone to the space station, the base, the Yorha base. So we're right in the opening.
You need to be near an access point to save your data. You can see access points on the close range map. Be sure to save often.
Will do. Don't need to save just now. We just saved. So here we can also see close up a little bit more of the designs of the Yorha units, the operators. And we can see there's like a lot of similarities in their designs, but they're not designed to be as mobile, obviously, because they are just they're desk jockeys, in a manner of speaking. The mouth pieces, like the mouth coverings, I think are a really striking design choice. I think there's definitely something metaphorical in the mouths and the eyes being covered in these two characters. I think I read somewhere once that the ground units, their eyes are covered because they are seeing lies, like they're being lied to, and the operators are speaking lies, so their mouths are covered. It's like a, I don't know, like a play on the see no evil, speak no evil thing. I don't know how true that is. It might be a bit of a stretch, but I think it's interesting to think about. And then we got another Yorha soldier in the same uniform as 2B. So you can see the same like balletic, the skirt, the kind of the But I don't know the technical terms for a lot of the pieces of clothing. The gloves with the feathers on them. Yeah. So it's not just 2B that's designed that way. This is the uniform of the Yorha soldiers. There's another one here. Let's see what they're saying. Then we have the commander, who is similarly dressed.
Maintenance finished? Yes, Commander. You detonated your black box in order to defeat the enemy. Bold, but risky. Try not to be so reckless next time. Understood. I know you're fresh out of maintenance, but I have another mission for you. I need you to head to the surface, rendezvous with the Resistance, and do some recon.
Doesn't Yorha have a dedicated Resistance contact already?
We haven't been able to get in touch with them, so we'll need you to look into that as well. Understood.
You can also see, right off the bat, all of the Yorha units that are currently in the field, the active combatants. Dwunk asks if I've considered making little YouTube videos on lore and tidbits for the games I'm streaming. Honestly, I was thinking about just uploading this whole VOD to YouTube. I don't know if I'll edit it or not. I don't know if I have the time. But yeah, I have considered that. But yeah, there is like a lot of information like everywhere. Like I said, you know, even with the design of all of the Yorha elements of the game, there is like something very holistic about it. It's like it wasn't designed for a game, it was designed for...
The surface? That means we'll be getting flight units, huh? Better head for the hangar.
He's so eager.
We can't get near flight units. They're way too expensive for us grunts. Too bad they can't mass produce these things yet.
So, a bit of an exposition dump, but yeah, we'll be heading into a flight unit again. But yeah, as I was saying, it's like they designed
the hangar's up ahead.
The elements of Yorha from like a thematic constructed perspective before beginning to think about how the elements of the game would play. The word NieR, my understanding, I mean, well, the main character of NieR is named NieR. That's his name. The capitalization, the N and the R, I think is just like anime style, like just something interesting. I don't think there's any significance between the N and the R being capitalized. So just little bits of dialogue here and there. Yeah, I mean, it does just look cool. So why is this called NieR? Well, there are a lot of links between the two games. It is set in the same world, just thousands of years in the future.
If all they want is intel, we scanner models are built for that kind of thing.
Yeah, Dwonk saying Eva's religious symbolism, literally Anno being, yeah, that shit was cool. A lot of the same things happen in the NieR series. Yoko Taro just kind of likes things, so he puts them in. But yeah, it's the same universe. There are some characters that carry over from the first game. Emil, for instance, the character on my shirt that I'm wearing to celebrate today, who you might recognize from Automata. He's got his little shop in the car. He is in the original. I won't tell you too much about him because you'll be playing that game next year.
Alright. You're going to have some new weaponry installed from here on out. I'll put up instructions for you. Make sure to commit them to memory.
So the game drip feeds you these mechanics. You know, we've already experienced some of these top-down shmups sections where we've been given new capabilities in these new flight units already. The game kind of continues to do that all the way through. You're constantly being given new ways to play. and new optimizations for the way you're already playing. I don't know why I'm just going to dodge through those. Hold on, let me just... Ooh, I just died. Shit. I'm gonna have to redo some of those bits. That's okay, we can skip through the cutscenes. That's funny. I'll go through it quickly. I should be paying more attention. I was talking too much. Dwonk didn't finish the second run of this game. Then you missed the game.
Why do you think they sent
okay, great. This is good.
model like you to a recon job? If all they want is intel, we scanner models are built for that kind of thing.
Orders are orders.
Alright,
I don't know what it is. So yeah, we'll go back through this. Yeah, you missed the game. The game, you know, it's literally at the end of the second playthrough is when the title screen appears. And the opening credits roll. Like, you know, it's a funny thing to joke about, like, yeah, you missed the game, but like, as far as the creators are concerned, that's when the game begins. Oh yeah, sure. I know where you got to, baby. I mean, that's a good bit of the game, but it's also like hard, so I understand. You know, if you're not like a true early gamer, I can understand why you need to stop at that point. Oh yeah, not for any reason. Hey Pixie. Yes, we've already talked about the horniness of the game, but I'm happy to talk about it again if you like. Oh, I've lost all of my. That's why I've lost all of my healing. Should have grabbed some more.
But we can't risk the enemy discovering their position. Understood.
I actually didn't know that. I never realized that you don't carry your healing items from the opening of the game onwards. Oh, so cool. Well, welcome back. Yeah, so Drakengard gets hornier than I think this game does. As I mentioned already, I'm probably going to be repeating myself a lot because that seems to be the main topic of conversation a lot of the time with this game, is that 2B is dressed in this way. But I don't think 2B is like a sexualized character beyond her costuming, which again is like more closely related to like dance costumes, like ballet costumes, I think, in the way that it's designed, than anything like inherently sexual. But in Drakengard there are like genuinely sexualized characters, especially in Drakengard 3, from what I understand. Which I haven't actually played Drakengard 3, but I've seen enough to know. Exactly. Our time knows it's not horny. She heard me go through my spiel. The community did make Automata horny, and again, as I've said, as I will continue to say over and over again, I don't think it's necessarily bad to design attractive characters and for people to be attracted to them. I mean, like, YOLO, right? Like, jerk off to whatever you want to jerk off to, as long as it's not illegal. And then this is just, you know, like, who cares? Give it a shot. Pixie, thank you for the resub. Love that. Appreciate it. I mean, I play horny games. I've played horny games before. I just don't think this is one of them.
Map data obtained from bunker.
That's it, Pixie.
Displayed from the system menu.
Map data, huh? It's hard to get an accurate picture from this. Our satellite resolution isn't so hot. Hopefully they deploy some new satellites soon.
So
a
that's...
general idea is good enough.
You don't let anything get in your way, do you?
So the game gives you a reason for why the map looks like this. Let's just take a look at this map. This genius fucking map. So the map is like low on detail. It just gives you like vague ideas because the satellites aren't good enough to display anything better than this. But isn't this just incredible? Doesn't this look like, what a phenomenal design choice here. You get all of the depth. You understand that there's a chasm here, a bridge, but you don't see any of the detail. Again, it's like beautifully diegetic in the way that it's introduced. So you get further map data by going to these additional save points. But for now, let's just head to the resistance bunker. Also, I love that at a certain point, pretty quickly in the game, the overworld gets a little sadder. It gets a little bit more run down, even than this. I love how beautiful and vibrant everything is when you first enter the world.
According to our intel, none of the machines in this area are hostile. We've been seeing more and more enemies like this lately. They just stand there and stare into space. It's pretty weird.
So yeah, these machine life forms, they're not actively antagonistic, and you can see the main difference in the design straight away is their eyes. In this game, anytime a character or a creature has red eyes, you know it has ill intent. Later we see some of the Yorha units with red eyes as they begin attacking you. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. That's okay. You don't lose anything from attacking the non-hostile creatures. And the music, the way the music changes. And here we get one of my favorite pieces of music in the game. I'll be saying that a lot. Pixie, dyeing your eyes blood red. Oof, that guitar. Let's just listen for a second.
So this is the resistance camp, huh? We should probably go talk to their leader first thing.
So we've got the resistance camp. This is the base of operations for the game. Such a great vibe. The tarps strewn across, creating cover from the pretty harsh sunlight. There's a save point. There is a room that we can access at some point soon. But all these little details here, like these weapon racks, all these people just sitting around doing stuff. Andy's back. Welcome back. You got back just in time to see the resistance camp. And there's all these little tucked away places you can go to. Such a nice feeling to be here. You know, the music really enhances that. It's such a this feels safe. It feels safe being here. They play with that feeling a little bit later on.
You're number 2.
You know about 2B?
Yes, well, the bunker told me to expect you.
So there's a little foreshadowing to the introduction of the character A2, who is 2B's design is based on like the model design. It isn't really explicitly said. The presumption is that A2 is the second android ever built, and then 2B is like the follow-up of that unit. So it's 2B, A2B, basically. Oh, it's 100 followers. Yeah, thanks, Pixie. You cheered. Thank you for the cheer. 100 subs one day, for sure. And then when I get 100 subs, I will replay this game again. 100 followers. We did it. We did it by doing nothing but playing games that I wanted to play and talking at length about things that matter to nobody else. So I think that's an achievement in itself. But yeah, when we first talk to the Resistance leader, she mistakes us for A2, which is why she says you're number 2. It's not really pointed out explicitly until later on.
My name is Anemone.
Steedling, does 9S have romantic feelings for 2B? Yeah, he does. It's more than explicitly stated, and then later on he goes on a pretty murderous rampage when she, you know, spoilers, when she dies, but, hey! Oh, that's okay, Soph. Appreciate your presence, as always. But yeah, 9S. So, this is, I don't remember what it exactly says in the game, but my understanding, my memory of my understanding is that the 9S as a unit is programmed to have romantic feelings for 2B. That this is a cycle that has happened. G'day, Elenial Wheeler, thanks for joining. That this is a cycle that's happened. The game talks about these cycles. Everything that's happened will happen again. It's implied, I believe, that the 9S unit is programmed to have feelings for the 2B unit in order for certain events to occur and for the cycle to continue.
I'm the leader of the android resistance that controls most of this territory.
And as her name comes up, the addition of the, don't know what instrument that would be in the background, and what vocals kind of coming in seamlessly. The way the music drifts in and out of versions is like,
You must be the new scout
so
we
good.
heard about. Well, I'm sure my people will have plenty of information for you. Please feel free to ask them anything you like.
Thank you for the bit, Sophie. Love you very much as well. I'm sure chat will be very nice to me. So continuing the tradition of the first NieR, Okabe, the composer, writes vocal lines in sort of a garbled, non-language, like a what do they call, like the same thing that Sigur Rós employs in a couple of their albums, like a language that sounds real but isn't. It's not echolalia. There's a word for it. That's it, Andy. Strange resistance woman wearing one of the machine heads. She's kind of got it, she's using it as like a tinfoil hat. So she gives you all of the information that you need. You can change difficulty, motion sickness, what should I do if I die, etc. But I'm good, I know all of that information. But a cool little tutorial to give you the first time you play the game. Weapons trader. Look at his design. Phenomenal. A beard. This big burly man. So this guy's got a lot of weapons for you, including a lot of weapons that you can find in NieR and Drakengard. A lot of weapons that carry across from the older games. So we'll come back. Actually, let's see what he's got. Can we talk to him? Oh no, we gotta talk to the supply trader. Now this character is super interesting. Later on we find out that most of their body has been destroyed in various ways and replaced with mechanical parts. This is a human, ostensibly a human being, or like an android. Let me start again. The androids are the human equivalents of the world, and this android has used parts of machines to replace their body. and there's a real Ship of Theseus element to it. You find out later that they're not quite sure how much of them is really still them. Yeah, if you're interested in that kind of thing, Weapons Man slaps, he does slap. So yeah, this person trades in machine parts. So we'll need some recoveries, because we do not have any. Let's get a bunch. How much are we spending? Let's just do this, because we'll need them. We'll get like 5 of these, just for little bits. Let's get some animal bait too, just to show that feature off, and the rest we can leave for now. Can we sell anything? No. We'll leave the rest. So we can get the plug-in chips as well later on from this person. Oh no, we find out straight away. I didn't realize this comes up immediately. But their leg is the last part of their original body. Yes, we'll agree to help, of course. So they don't say it explicitly at this point, apparently. But the reason that they don't want to repair their leg is it is the last part of their original body that they've retained. And they're worried that if they replace that part, then they'll no longer be themselves. But, you know, as we learn about in the thought experiment, or the fable of the Ship of Theseus, you know, what is an object? What is a part? What is anything? We're all made of the same stuff, and we're all constantly replacing those parts and maintaining some semblance of a self. Like, where is that self? Where is that soul? Where is that core? Is it able to be replicated in a machine? This is the stuff this game makes you think about.
Target location data obtained. Marking up.
So we've got a sub-quest now. And then we've got this other shop here as well, where we can buy... we can ask for advice. We can also buy some pod programs, which will come in handy later, and we can increase the storage capacity of our plug-in chips. I don't think we need to do that now because we've got space in them at the moment. We'll pick up some really good chips pretty soon, but this will be a priority, is increasing the space in the plug-in chips and upgrading our pods. The pod programs was something that in my first playthrough of the game I completely neglected to adjust or upgrade. I just went through with the standard. What else we got? There's another mission. Yeah, we'll open that. So we've got to find complex gadgets from machines. And then we can save. And let's get some of these quests done. So I'm not too sure what I'm going to be doing in this playthrough. I'm going to be keeping it pretty chill. Kind of just doing parts as I think of them. Steedling, exactly. Casual topics such as, you know, what is anything. Big C, thanks for lurking, thanks for the resub, appreciate your presence, thanks for coming by, and thanks for the bits, and enjoy your sleep. Okay, so yeah, we've got the teaches us about the access points, the save points that we can see. Keep doing that, keep pressing the wrong button. But yeah, these points here, these are those not quest markers? Hard to remember. I'm remembering all of this as we play. Maybe I shouldn't have escaped out of that dialogue boxes so quickly.
This must have been quite a city once upon a time. Too bad vegetation has claimed most of it now.
The other funny thing that this game does straight away... Oh, I'll wait till this is done.
Operator 60 to 2B. It is time for your regularly scheduled contact.
This is 2B. Nothing to report.
Good to hear. Say, how's the weather on Earth today? Good?
It's fine.
I love
Does that
60.
question have anything to do with our operation?
Good night, Pixie.
Not really. I just figured it might feel nice to have some good weather.
Feeling nice has no bearing on completing missions.
That is so like you, 2B. Anyway, talk to you later.
So we can see already like this dichotomy between 2B and pretty much all of the other androids we've met, 9S and 60 included. They're very happy to display emotions, to speak casually, to indicate positive feelings towards things like the weather, like how, you know. So and then 2B is of the opinion that all of that stuff should be kind of left by the wayside until she experiences, you know, things like grief, at which point suddenly emotions become okay. So the hypocrisy of these characters is put on display right from the beginning. And he says, shame the grass got in the way of this urban sprawl. Yeah, I think that's supposed to be a bit ironic. Like, oh, this would have been an amazing city. Too bad it looks gorgeous now. This is also like a, this world is also, you know, it's not just post-apocalyptic, it's post-post-apocalyptic. This is 2 apocalypses later, after humanity is originally taken out. The original NieR is post-apocalyptic, and then this is this is significantly later from that. So humanity was destroyed, it rebuilt itself, and then it was destroyed again, and now we're playing in that space. So we need to destroy these machines and collect an item. It can sometimes be a little hard to see. Okay, it's dropped somewhere. Oh, I think I see it over there. Yeah, it is. It's a cool setting. Great, broken key. So, is there anything else we needed to pick up from this area? Because that red circle is still there. Any other items glowing? Let's see. Over here. So usually that red circle is should only stay up as long as the item we're still looking for is in there. Just get a bit of height and see if we can see anything. Nothing. Oh wait, there's some stuff over here. Great, it's gonna be one of these. Yep. Great.
Okay, that's everything the supply trader asked for.
So now that we've got what the supply trader asked for, we can get the weapon stealer's request done too. The different. That's right.
Man, these chores are a real pain in the butt, huh?
The Resistance is a valuable ally to your hub. By helping them, we also help ourselves. So no, I don't think they're a pain.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, these little bits of dialogue to show the different perspectives between these units that are supposed to be not only you know, constructed for a purpose. These are essentially, you know, tools. They're robotic creatures that are designed to achieve goals set forth by humans, but they've also developed their own humanity, their own personalities. They have opinions and feelings, even if they're not supposed to, or if they kind of deny themselves the ability of admitting that they have them.
This is the place that weapons trader was talking about. Uh-oh. I'm picking up hostile...
I think I've ran past a lot of things Not sure what you meant, Andy. Okay, I'm remembering a lot of these controls now. Oops, I'm distracted again. Let's just use that. Oh, also, I should put on the auto heal chip. That's what's going on. Okay, let's take a look at what we haven't equipped. Auto... We don't have the auto here. I think we have to pick that back up because our old body had it. These are only easy mode. Okay. So for now we have to continue manually healing, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal. Pretty soon we get a plug-in chip as well that has that allows us to automatically pick up items, so we don't need to go out of our way to grab each individual item that falls. Once we get these parts, I'm going to continue on with the main story, I think, for a bit before getting stuck with too many of the side missions. Yeah, Andy says that it's interesting the music stays calm and listless in battle. I think that's one of the many reasons why I love the music in the game. It's sometimes very I'm gonna keep using the word dichotomous, because I think this game plays in contrasts pretty consistently throughout, and I think, yeah, one of the more interesting and obvious contrasts that it plays in is like the contrast in mood and action. The way the music remains calm as you're engaging in these battles, and sometimes the music does get very intense. We're going to be coming up to one of those moments pretty soon, actually. One of not only my favourite moments in the game, but one of the most important in terms of the way the music is involved and incorporated in what you're doing. So let's hand these missions in. Now this is great. What if my weapons are just making my friends die all the faster? So now we'll be able to buy weapons from him, and we'll be able to get... Here we go. Why don't you tell us what's really going on? My left leg is the one that's fully original. This left leg's never been touched. So yeah, as mentioned, Ship of Theseus. Look that up. Great. You bet. So now we can buy Beastbane and Beastlord, which are the two of the most iconic weapons from the original NieR. Hey, Licknuke, thanks for coming through. Happy Sunday. It's going great. Couple of hours in, still in the opening of the game, just taking it real chill, just like exploring, taking moments to talk and get some of my feelings and thoughts out. My throat's getting a little sore already. I'm not sure if maybe I should talk a little less, but I've just got so many things I want to say. But yeah, having giving this connection, the Beastbane and Beastlord, having this connection to the original NieR. I'm going to keep holding it up every time I mention it. Is I think important. Establishing that this is the same world, even though the name is the same. Everything else about the game up to this point, it's like very different. Mechanically plays in a very similar way, but it seems to be in a whole different world, different characters, and that nobody so far is familiar. So then dropping in these weapons to show, yes, this is the same world. Maybe I should whisper a little more. Actually, whispering, here's a fun fact, whispering's worse for your voice when you've got a sore throat. Actually puts more strain on your vocal cords to whisper than it does to talk normally at a lower volume. I'm just going to clear my throat, drink some water. So yeah, I think that's really cool. I'm going to buy one of these. I'm going to grab Beastbane. I love the way Beastbane feels. And then, can we upgrade anything yet? Okay, let's just... So we also lost our main big sword in the first opening when your body explodes. We can retrieve it pretty soon, but without my hog. Okay, Andy, sure. I think that's against TOS, unfortunately. Licknuke, you've never played this, but you were watching Yonso play it recently. Well, I mean, if you want to play it and you don't want anything spoiled, this is probably not the stream to watch, because I will be talking about a lot of I'm going to be talking about a lot of story stuff that is probably better to experience for yourself, but if you've already watched Yonso play some of it and you're still interested, I think it's still like an awesome game to play beyond the story stuff that might be spoiled. I think it's just like a cool game to experience. And, you know, we're also not going to see the whole game in this stream, let alone the whole playthrough. I'm not going to be showing you everything. So I think it's still, I mean, it's one of my favorite games of all time, so I think it's still worth picking up. If you're not precious about spoilers, then stick around. So I'm going to do two weapon sets. I'm going to do one where Beastbane is in light attack, and one where it's in heavy attack. I'm just going to see how that feels. Let me just... The lady who owns the place sends them over every once in a while. Her name's Accord, who is a character from the Dragon Guard series, Dragon Guard 3, which I haven't played, but I do know the name from the lore of the Dragon Guard series. So yeah, just tells us how to upgrade. So then we've got, okay, so this is Beastbane on light attack, and the Virtuous Contract on heavy. Feels pretty good, and then how does it feel the other way around? Oof, I think that's better. I think you get nicer combos. Having the Beastbane fly out for that. We get the double strike as well at the end of the combo. Hey man, enjoy Risk of Rain 2, thanks for the lurk, appreciate the presence. And thank you for being one of my 100 followers. Because that is here what we're celebrating. Cool, so I think we're gonna keep this setting for now. This feels nicer, but we'll keep testing that out, and we'll keep changing things up as we go, as we collect new weapons. So yeah, this is where the game is gonna start getting a little weirder. Yeah, man, 100 followers. This is the 100 follower celebration NieR stream. Thank you very much. It's not, you know, I'm not at ninja levels yet, but it's nice to have this number, you know, completed. So yeah, the desert is where the game is going to start, you know, the game's already been a little bit strange. This is where we're going to start experiencing some revelations and learning a little bit more about the machines and a lot more about the world.
Pod 042 to operator. Coordinates confirmed for location specified by Resistance Leader.
Understood, 042. Placing marker on target. The desert heat is going to make resupply efforts difficult to me. Please make sure you're ready before you go.
So the conceit in this section is that we'll be less able to receive help from the base of operations, but really this is where the difficulty of the game ramps up a little bit. We're going to be getting those same waves of enemies that we were getting in the opening, but with they're going to be higher levels, and they're going to be coming a little bit more relentlessly, because these machines, they're a bit different, as we'll come to discover very soon. You'll see as we enter the desert and begin exploring. There is also a save point up here that I'm just going to unlock, just because we're right near it.
Proposal. Eliminate enemies in vicinity and restore access points and healing.
It's so interesting playing an action game like this after having played so many hours of Hades recently. I feel like I'm way more attuned to button combos. What a great game that is. Then we get more vocals. I don't know if those were playing originally when we were in the overworld before. And more nonsense lyrics. And here we've got a dead Your High unit, another player who's been playing this game. So we're going to pray for Netwave and repair them. We'll retrieve the body, get the items from them. So this is, I think, like a really cool... Yeah, exactly, my dude, nonsense. So this is where the game begins to hint that there is some interconnectedness between players playing this game and the world. The network is like a really constant theme that comes up, like the concept of a network, not just like the literal network. Yeah, there's it's sort of Dark Souls-y, like Nuke. There is a similar similarity between the two. Yeah, you see the other people's bloodstains. You see where people have died. I won't do full end of the game spoilers, because one of the most beautiful moments of the whole game comes during the final credits, when the concept of the network is fully, truly explored. This is just a hint towards that being like an important part of the game and the world. But it's also just like a cool way of having you feel less alone in this otherwise like very lonely world, you know? This game is lonely and melancholic in a way that games normally aren't. Another one of my favorite games of all time, Majora's Mask, achieves that feeling. I think maybe that's a big part of the reason why I like this game. It does remind me of Majora's Mask in a way. Lots of themes of like recursiveness, repetition. The wheel turns and things begin again, and they, you know, moments happen and happen and re-happen.
You're from Yorha, right? I've heard about you guys. We've got a squad mate waiting in a rocky stretch up ahead. Head on over. Just remember that there's nowhere to resupply out there. If you need anything, best to take care of it here while you can. What can I help you with?
So maybe we should keep all of those components. We've got plenty of recovery. Any chips that we can use? We've got all of these already. Down attack, up, counter. Counter is good. We should grab this. We'll need that. Charge attack, increase the power of charge attacks 200%. No, we don't need that. But let's immediately equip that counter, because that's going to be very handy. Takes up a lot of slots, but it's worth it. The plug-in chips, the customizability of the way that the game plays for you through the plug-in chips is awesome as well. And you've got so many options. Once I've got more chips to play with, I'm going to start using different sets for different purposes. In my first playthrough, I had a set that was just bare bones with all of the speed chips, just so I can get from place to place. I can swap to that and just get to places as quickly as possible. Yeah, Andy, the customization is a crucial part of the game too. So we keep picking up these terminals. We'll be able to transport between them eventually, so grabbing them when they're available is always a good idea. And it also gives us more of the map information, so the map becomes more detailed. Suddenly we have a little bit more info about where we're heading. Continue. Some more bodies. So you can also always see like where the bodies are is where difficult battles happened. You can see 2 here. 2 people died. Later on we'll have the option of partaking in a particularly difficult battle in this area. It's optional, but it's fun. You'll always see dead bodies in this area as a result. Tucked away in this little, how do you get there again? I think you have to jump over. Oh no, it's through here.
The Council of Humanity has a message for all of our brave androids fighting on the surface. Currently, our struggle against the machine life forms is at a stalemate. This battle has raged for far too long. I am sure all of you find the effort grueling. But now is not the time to give up. Now, more than ever, we must forge on. Remember that several 100,000 humans on the moon want nothing more than a return to Earth. Glory to mankind.
Glory to mankind.
Broadcasts are always so stiff.
So, as I mentioned earlier, another spoiler.
Mail notification received from access point.
The humans are all dead. The humans that are supposed to be on the moon, that fled the Earth, are dead. They died many, many years ago, and those council recordings that are transmitted to the androids are all pre-recorded, which, you know, 9S commenting on them being so stiff. No wonder, right? Look at these units as well. Look at these absolute boys. Love the idea that the machines decide they need to be upgraded in order to fight the androids more effectively, so they just make themselves taller, but remove any of their weapons. Because these machines have no way of fighting back. Through this little section here, I believe these machines back here are quite difficult. So I'm going to give it a go though. I think they've got some good rewards if you can beat them. Oh no, they're not that hard. Level 6. There's an area where there's some like maybe 1 or 2 like very high level machines in this area with some pretty good rewards for beating them. My slug, I'm glad to hear that I have immersed you. This game is immersing. It's also good having the having played the original NieR. The desert section has like quite a lot of significance in that game, but it comes quite late in the game. So heading to a desert early in this game as well, like, kind of reinforces the connection between the two. And we're about to get more connections actually as we proceed. So, but let us meet the character up here.
Hey, our leader told me all about you. Name's Jackass. Nice to meet you. I hear you're planning to take out all the machines in the desert. Guess that means we need to get that entrance open.
Looks like it. So, Jackass, was it? What are you doing all the way out here?
Hmm? Oh, that? Well... Didn't want to have anyone getting tangled up in that, now would we? Don't go trying to be a hero, alright?
We love Jackass. We love this character. She is awesome. She is a constant companion through this game. Some of the funniest lines in the game belong to her. Every time she appears, it's a joy. They should have had Johnny Knoxville voice that character, Andy. You're right.
There's gotta be an easier way, right?
And hear the music begin to build up. Oh, this is the section I was thinking of that has slightly higher level characters. You can hear. And there we go, these masks. Let's just pause so we can check. There's no way of pausing with the... There we go, you can still see the mask slightly. So these masks is a significant connection to the first game as well. NieR, I'll hold it up every time I mention it. There is a group of desert-dwelling people who all wear these masks, who... The hook of their civilization in the game is that they live by these very strict rules, that they've got thousands of rules that they've all memorized, and they're not allowed to break any of the rules. And it kind of leads to some conflict internally and externally, and eventually, you know, we learn a little bit about rules and why they're important and why they might need to be broken sometimes. So the masks returning on these creatures that are programmed to act certain ways is I think interesting thematically. And here we go, the desert. This is just a fun part of the game to just like run around in. It's yeah, these dunes, you can slide down the dunes and propel yourself with the momentum. So you get the slide straight away. You can maintain it for a while too.
This sand sure is slippery.
The game knows what's fun about playing it, and it tells you sometimes. This sand sure is slippery. And then it lets you just fucking slide down a dune. Andy, you personally love rules and symbols, don't we all? So this whole section is filled with items and hidden treats, including this pod program.
Hypothesis. The owner discarded this pod and left it in safe mode. Motives unknown.
Why was it abandoned? Pod, reactivate it for me. If it's usable, try to overwrite the original owner with my ID.
Activation complete. Access granted. Previous owner ID successfully overwritten. Special weaponry now available.
So the pods are these flying units that assist you. They act as your projectile weapon, and you can customize them to have different gun abilities. So this one has a laser. Oh, this one has a Gatling. It's a Gatling gun. No, wait. This one's a missile with... let me just... Pod A, Pod C. Missile. Oh, okay. So the program... So the type of gun it is, so this is just missile, is the type of gun. And then the pod program is the secondary fire. So currently we've only got one pod program, but 2 pod models. So this has a different gun type. So there's, again, more customization in the game. And it gives you the option of customizing it right from the beginning. The other...
We've got enemies approaching.
We've got enemies approaching. Just before we engage those enemies, I'll just say, you know, the game has these levels of consciousness that it kind of explores. You know, you've got the humans, sort of at the top, not like of a hierarchy, just like it works down. These creatures work kind of downwards. You got the humans, and the humans created the androids to protect the humans. The androids have like a certain level of like consciousness and awareness, and then below that are the machine life forms that we're engaging in warfare with, which we learn are built from the same materials that the androids are, and have like not just not only implicit but also explicit physical connections to the androids, work off similar networks, for instance. Again, networks coming back as a theme. And then below all of that, you have the pods, which are these like autonomous units that follow and assist the androids that have their own level of consciousness. And as the game progresses and the androids get wiped out, again, spoilers, the androids begin to get wiped out, the pods have to start making decisions about what's right for the remaining androids that exist with the knowledge that they have. And we have this other sub-level of consciousness that gets explored. Yeah, this game gets deep and goes down some paths that I think are really super interesting. Let's grab this item. Let's also pray for this. Oh, there we go. Also, these phrases, a poor lamb fell to heat of sand in a deserted land. When you die, you get to choose from a list of keywords and create your own phrase. If we die, we'll get the chance to see that.
These machines are heavy.
Oh, they hit me.
Yeah, I've heard from the Resistance that they've been seeing this a lot lately. Couldn't tell you why, though.
So the machines have begun talking. This is the information you need from them. Yes, Andy, the pods and the androids are made by the same people. The pods are made by the androids, I believe. Cool. So we're getting some new chips. Shockwave chip, pretty good. Let's heal up. And then keep with this weapon set. But yeah, the pods are part of the androids system. So presumably they were either constructed originally by the humans or by the androids themselves. Yeah, so we may get to that point. Probably not in this playthrough because it's quite deep into the game, but 2B dies at a certain point and the Yorha base gets destroyed. Yeah, not only are they talking, they're also scared. And yet 2B's pod communicates with 9S's pod through like a network connection, and they have to make some decisions about what they do moving forward. And there is like a hesitance in the way they talk, because you can hear like these things are programmed again to like propose and assist the androids. But then when the androids begin to die, it's like, well, at that point, you know, you get some like Isaac Asimov-esque like need to make the best decisions. What does that end up being? Yeah, Andy, you do. You play as 9S for a chapter, your assistant, and then you play as another character who we will meet pretty soon. Probably in this playthrough we'll meet this character. I mentioned her before, A2, who is implied to be the second ever android. She has gone rogue, gone off the network, after learning the truth about Yorha.
What's with the weird looking outfits? I've seen that sort of thing when I was going through some old data. It looks like what humans used to wear long ago. Certain human collectives used to use face paint like that too.
So yeah, A2 is, she has more of an understanding of the world, so she comes across as like an enemy because she's rebelled, rejected the Yorha group. So she's targeted by Yorha, but then eventually you learn that Yorha is kind of a fake front. Oh, forgot about these guys. Shit. These suicide units, holy shit. Let's just use these small recoveries. Yeah, Andy, this is one hell of a game. I'm glad you're here to experience it. This is a game that I have been shouting from the rooftops since it came out for people to play it. But it's hard to convince people sometimes because of the way the game looks. It's got a very like anime aesthetic. Again, the main character is scantily clad. It does look like it would kind of be shit, but it's truly not. What year? 2017 it came out.
It's fine. Their speech doesn't mean anything. They're just emitting words at random. If they wanted help, why would they be attacking us?
Yeah.
So then we get, again, let me just pause, and great year, great vintage. Heaps of games came out that year that I love. So we get a moment of the roles reversing here. We get the machines asking for help and talking, and 2B being like noticeably perturbed by it and disturbed, and she is very hesitant. And 9S, previously the one who was expressing emotion that 2B dismissed as not being allowed, is quick to say, no, don't worry about it, 2B, they're just machines, they don't matter. We can continue hurting them. So we got this interesting role reversal between the two of them. This partnership is like developing into, you know, one where the weaknesses of each element of the partnership are kind of countered in any given moment by the other, which is, you know, is that not what love is? Maybe I'm reading too much into it again, but I'm going to continue doing that because it's fun to me. So right now we're just clearing out these waves of enemies in the desert, and at a certain point we'll be able to continue on to the next section. Thank you, Andy. Yes, my views are very nuanced. Again, I gotta keep saying, it's very unusual that the display for when chat messages comes up says that nobody is watching, because by my count we've got about 12 viewers. So, you know, later to the people who are watching this on YouTube after I've uploaded it, you just have to believe me. I'm talking to real people. And we have a singular machine. Who retreats in fear.
It's heading for that rocky area.
Individual target ID marked.
Alright, time for another bathroom break. I've been drinking a lot of this water. So, I'll be back, and then stick around, because we're about to experience a true turning point in the game, in the story, and yeah, everything's about to get very cool and different.